Hi friends, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make this cute personalized sweater. This project I'm going to be using this chunky yarn from Malabrigo in 3 different colors, and then we'll also need a washable marker, a yarn needle, and finally a cute little sweater. I got this one from Amazon and I will make sure to link everything below for you guys. I like to start by writing the name directly onto the sweater using the washable marker. It really helps to play around with different fonts online, or if you have nice handwriting, you can sketch it out on paper first to practice. Just make sure to figure out the size you want or the size that fits nicely on the space you have on the sweater. It really helps to place something straight underneath the writing to help keep everything straight and even. I just had a piece of felt laying around, so that's what I am using, but you can use a piece of paper or whatever you have on hand. Now that we have the name written on the sweater, we are going to grab a piece of yarn and thread our yarn needle. And we are going to begin our embroidery using chain stitch. So you will want to start from the inside of the sweater and pull your needle through to the front at the very start of your letter. But make sure to leave a couple of inches of yarn in the inside for weaving it in later. Or if you want to skip this step, you can. Just make sure to tie a knot at the end of your yarn. Now you are going to insert your needle in the exact same spot where you just came up. But before you pull it tight, bring your needle back up about a 1/4 of an inch forward along your line and make sure that the needle goes through that little loop before you tighten the stitch gently. And that loop that you just made, that is your first chain. Now insert your needle back down right where you last came up. And again, came up a little further down your line and just pull through and you have got another chain. And you will keep repeating this step to build your stitches. I am going to keep doing this chain stitch in real time for a little while just so you can do it alongside with me. And then I'm going to speed up the video a little bit. So again, the needle goes back down in the exact same hole, comes up about a 1/4 of an inch further down the line and pulling the yarn through that little loop. If your stitches are not looking very even or very great, feel free to adjust it with your fingers and help them out a little bit. Now I'm going to speed up the video a little bit, but I just keep doing the exact same chain stitch following the line of the letter. Feel free to move your sweater around as you are working on different angles. Done with my first letter, and to finish the chain I like to tack it down with a tiny stitch at the end of the last loop. Just insert your needle right outside that last loop to anchor it in place. So now we are starting letter number 2 the exact same way how we did it with the first one. I also wanted to mention that if you run out of yarn, don't worry, just cut a new piece and we are going to start it just like how we started with the first letter. Leave a little bit of a tail in the inside of the sweater that we can weave in later. Okay, so here it is. We finished embroidering the name on the sweater, and now using this yellow yarn, I am going to do a little flower on the letter I. So basically, I'm just going to try to make a tiny circle with this yellow yarn for the center of the flower. I'm going to do 4 stitches. I guess it's more like a square. And then I'm going to switch to the pink yarn. We can cut our yellow yarn and thread our yarn needle with the pink yarn. So once again, we are coming from the inside of the sweater. We pull our needle and yarn through, and we are going to make a little loop by inserting the needle back in the exact same spot where we just came up. And this is where we are going to do it a little different. So this already looks like a tiny flower petal. So with just one tiny stitch, I'm going to secure it. And you gotta make sure the inside of the sweater is starting to be a little bit messy because we haven't weaved in all the ends yet. So make sure nothing is in the way, and with a tiny stitch we are securing it down, and that is how a little flower petal is going to look like. So now we are going to go all around the yellow part of the flower, and we are going to come up from the inside, go back down, and then with a tiny stitch we just secure it down. You can make these flower petals as big or as small as you want them to be. And this is our last little flower petal. I'm going to cut my pink yarn now, and the sweater is almost done. We just have to deal with the ends. Now, don't be intimidated by how the inside of your sweater looks. I promise you it's very easy. You're going to thread your yarn needle with one of the ends, and you're just going to weave in and out of the stitches that you created. We are going to repeat this process with every single yarn tail that we have. And this pattern really does not have a rhyme or reason. You just go in and out of the stitches. Now our little sweater is finally done. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.